Oh, you jokester. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the show. Did everybody have a good holiday? I don't care if you did or you didn't. We got a great show for you tonight. We have the one and only Tony Harrington. I forgot who I had today. Tony Harrington, that's right. He'll be with us tonight. He's a singer, a songwriter. You've probably seen him singing the National Anthem at the Civic Center. Sideways Said Sally. Join us. We'll be right back with Tony. Stay with us with Downtown.
From the insurance capital of the world, the game show everybody's talking about, Make Me Cry, with your host, Vic Cologne.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, our studio audience. Thank you, contestants. Whoa, thank you, Johnny. And welcome to another edition of Make Me Cry. And welcome to our viewing audience at home also. And, you know, I was backstage in the Kleenex room, and I'd like to tell you what one of our future contestants said to me. Contestant said to me, "Why a show called Make Me Cry?" And I thought about that, and I thought, well, I guess it's because we live in such an insensitive society, and no one really wants to take the time to listen to anyone else, and no one really cares about other people's problems anymore. But let's get on with the show. Okay, Johnny, let's meet our contestants. Who do we have today?
Meet Dave Bancroft. Dave's a sheetrocker from Estes Park in Denver, Colorado. He likes boating, checkers, and Rudy's first favorite team, the San Diego Padres. Hello, Big Dave!
Dave, can you remember the last time you cried?
Yes, I can, Vic. I think it was about 10 years ago at my uncle's funeral.
Unbelievable. And what have you done in the last 10 years to keep from crying?
Well, I didn't see if E.T. was really dead at the end.
Good for you, Dave. Okay, let's meet our next contestant, Johnny.
Meet Ann Howard. Ann's a producer with Channel 7 in Boston, Mass. She likes long walks on the beach, a warm fireplace, and a good movie. And also does impersonations. And the guys at work says she does a wicked foghorn.
Is that true, Ann? Unbelievable! Ann, tell us, when's the last time your tears wet your pillowcase?
Well, I'd rather not talk about that, Vic.
Did it have something to do with a man, Ann?
Vic, I said I'd rather not talk about it.
Well, good luck, Ann. And Johnny, let's meet our current champion.
Vic, let's meet once again John Harley from, where is he from? Bishop's Fall, North Dakota. Yes. John's a retired claims adjuster who keeps busy by making ceramic magnets used for holding things-to-do lists on refrigerators. In the last 3 shows, John has withstood from crying by concentrating on a rash he had when he was 12 years old. Welcome back, Champ John!
Oh, John, what are we going to do with you? What will it take to make you shed a tear?
I'll never tell, Vic. It's just that I feel a real incentive coming on today. I want to win that grand prize.
Well, you may have a battle on your hands today, John. Johnny, why don't you tell our contestants what that prize is?
Vic, the lucky dog today gets a free trip for 2 to Windsor Locks' new and improved Bradley International Airport. That's right, I said Bradley International Airport, where you'll be able to walk the aisle of our spacious walk rooms. That's right, stand in line just like a passenger. Watch our professional crews loading up your plane, and also, Vic, a special bonus, you get to load your own plane if you want. That's right, Vic, then you'll take off for an hour over Windsor Locks, where you'll look out the window, see a wing, and possibly part of Windsor Locks. Then you'll land, Vic, unload, and it's all part of the fun here at Make Me Cry. A complete day of fun, Vic, for the lucky one who wins here on Make Me Cry.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you. I'm sure our contestants will be thinking about that grand prize as we play today. But first, let's tell our viewing audience at home just how the game works.
Sure, Vic. Unbeknownst to our contestants, we Make You Cry staff went out and gathered past history on each one of our guests.
The only people aware of this privileged info is our staff and you, Vic. Vic will ask a question using one of the 3 pieces of past history that we believe will make the consumer cry. If he's able to answer the question truthfully within the 30-day second, Vic, unbeknownst to our contestants, our Make Me staff cry. Keep going. Vic, unbeknownst to our contestants, our Make Me Cry staff went out and gathered past history on each one of our guests. The only people aware of this privileged info is our staff and you, Vic. Vic, you're going to ask a question using one of the 3 pieces of info that we gathered. If able to answer the question truthfully within the 30-second allotted time frame without crying, he or she moves on to the next round. If a contestant cries, he or she has to leave.
Thank you, Johnny. And now let's begin. Dave, let's start with you.
Ready when you are, Vic.
And of course, our audience members at home will hear what Johnny says, but Dave won't know what's going on until we ask him a question. Johnny?
Hi, I'm Dave Bancroft. When I was 8 years old, I had a little Cocker Spaniel named Whiskey. One day, my fort caught fire after Joey Stubbs was playing with matches. I knew Whiskey was in there, but I only had time to save the most important thing to me at the time. Whiskey perished, but my Playboy didn't even get singed. I'll never forget that day.
Okay, our audience members have heard a little tidbit of Dave's past. Dave, as you know, I'm only allowed to ask you 1 question, and you'll have 30 seconds to answer. Dave, when you visit your cousin in Bridgeport, you like to go to the Tree Fort Cafe, where your favorite drink is a whiskey sour. Why?
Well, Vic, that's easy. The women there are great. The atmosphere. And the sour, whiskey sour. Yeah, whiskey. Dog. And when I don't go there, I really miss that dog. My whiskey. I didn't know he was in there. It was him or Mr. Zimmer. Oh my, whiskey, forgive me. He was almost 13. You know what that means, Vic, in dog years? I'm sorry. I'm making a fool of myself.
Now, Dave, nobody here is condemning you for what you did as a selfish little brat 20 years ago. Oh, well, that's our signal. It looks like our time is up. John, you'll be back next week.
Hey, I'm retired. You know, it's here. It's here or the garden or the...
Well, good, John. You come back next week. Forget the garden.
Yeah.
And you won't be letting Dave's little antics here get the best of you, will you?
No way. Look, I survived a relationship with a man who never even said excuse me after he burped, okay? This isn't going to do it.
Well, good to hear it, Ann. Glad to hear, and we'll see you next week. And remember, no matter how sad the movie, no matter how messed up the relationship, or how big the onion, go out there and look that world straight in the eye and say, go ahead, I dare you. Make me cry!
Take my way of thinking, make myself a different Gonna take my way of thinking.
We're back, and we have a great guest for you today, don't we? We do have a guest today, right? Good. Our guest is a singer, a songwriter. He's from Hartford, a great guy. In fact, we have a clip of him right now we're going to show you. Let's take a look at this clip.
O'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Oh, wasn't that? Oh! I cried, I laughed, said the Hartford Current. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big hand for Tony Harrington. Tony, come on out here. How you doing, Tony? So, Tony, tell me, what's it like singing in front of 15,000 people, the National Anthem? How many times have you done it?
Probably about 160.
160 times in the Civic Center, Harvard Civic Center, or where else have you done it?
I've done the Celtics in Boston Garden and the Red Sox in Fenway Park.
So what's it like? I mean, what goes through your mind when you're out there in front of, what, Civic Center holds, what, 15,000 people?
Yeah.
What goes through your mind? I mean, are you really self-conscious of slipping on the ice?
Well, no longer slipping on the ice because we're in a different location now. We have a little red carpet, which is kind of nice. But the major concern now is just making sure that I can remember the words. A lot of people would think that because I sing it so often that you know, it just should become second nature. But there's so many people, accomplished artists who, you know, have so-called made it, that have performed the anthem and made major mistakes.
Now do you know anybody who's forgotten how to sing?
Pia Zadora. Yeah.
All right, who else besides Pia?
Well, there have been a number of artists, and the anthem is not an easy song to perform.
Okay, so have you ever flubbed a line, or have you ever?
In my head, I did. I was singing one evening, and in my mind, I couldn't remember the next verse, but I had sung it so often that it came out. And after I got off the ice, I almost died because I, you know, could panic.
Yeah.
But it's a great feeling to be out there. You're only out there for about a minute and a half, and maybe 2.5 minutes if you're doing the anthem, the American and the Canadian. But it's a tremendously nice feeling. It's like you're a part of the game.
Okay, now I've seen you sing the national anthem, and I've talked to people who say, of all the people that sing it at the Civic Center, that you probably sing it the best, or sing it the best. What do you do to prepare for something like that? I mean, is there anything you can do prior to that? Is it a mental thing because there's so many people involved, and
I try not to take it, you know, lightly. I mean, I'm only out there for a minute and a half, but my preparation is, you know, a couple hours prior to then. After getting out of 9 to 5 with the city of Hartford, I go home, I get my clothes together, I kind of go through a ritual, and en route to the Civic Center, I do my vocal exercises.
So are you ever distracted, or what do you concentrate on when you're singing something like that? I mean, do you look at like the scoreboard, or do you look around the crowd? I mean, do you notice Busty Hart there, Tony? I mean, do you see her walk down the aisle, and does that throw you off your song?
It would if I saw her, definitely.
Yeah.
But I just pretty much concentrate on the whole kind of feeling of the crowd. You know, I can tell when I sing the anthem whether it feels like a exhibition game or a playoff game. You know, just the emotionalism and everything, the excitement I feel from the crowd, and it impacts on the way I perform the anthem.
Now, you also were you auditioned for Star Search, I heard.
Right.
Now, what was that like? I mean, now is this Star Search in Hollywood? Huh?
Yes, the organizers for Star
Ed
Search.
McMahon, and is that the same thing?
Yeah, they didn't come out to the studio when we performed, but otherwise I probably would have said, Ed, hey, please come on. But they had 17 people who auditioned from Massachusetts and Bridgeport, New Haven.
Now, were the models there too, or is it just the singers?
No one looked like a model that I saw there.
Okay.
You know, they had a couple of ladies there, but you know, but anyway.
So you auditioned for, what was that like?
It was nice. The experience was great. What they did was they asked that we perform 2 original songs, because those were the type that would, I guess, receive preferential review.
And you did Somewhere Over the Rainbow, right? Is that?
I did a song called One Night, which is kind of different for me because I'm kind of a laid-back singer, but this is like straightforward, out there.
How many songs did you have to sing for him?
2.
2 songs.
I did another song that was written by a girl in our group, Patricia Thompson, who I've worked with for a number of years, and Loving You for All Times. And I felt pretty comfortable, you know, with it. I think for the most part, maybe 80 to 85% of the people that audition do have the capacity and ability to perform on the show. I mean, I have looked at the show.
When do you hear the results for something like that? And
well, I thought we would have heard by now, but you know, I'm trying not to really get my hopes up too much. I mean, I am very positive about it. It's just that I'm not going to put all of my eggs in one basket. I'm still continuing to do other things.
So what are those other things you do? I mean, you're working for the town, for the city?
Right. I work with minority and women-owned businesses. And outside of that, I perform the anthem at various engagements.
You do weddings, Tony, that's the question.
I do weddings,
You do
yes.
weddings.
Yes.
No windows, though?
No.
We're going to take a commercial break, I think. We'll be right back with Tony Harrington. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Cheers to the whale. Thanks for the spirit you've shown. Something is happening in the city like never before. Woo! Come on, fellas, I know you can do it.
To all who knew him, he was the most miserable man in the world. More miserable than Dave Smith. And there was only 3 things he loved in life. Money. But around Christmas, Eddie Scrooge could be a living nightmare.
Golly, Simon was right. These are the good old days. Scratch it! Is that you?
Yes, Mr. Scrooge, I was just preparing to go home.
He hated everything that had to do with the greatest day known to mankind. And he made it known to his only loyal employee, Bob Scratchit.
According to my calculations, it's only 7:50. And you're paid to work until 8 o'clock. Scratch it.
But, sir, tomorrow's Christmas Day.
Coming Christmas of 1989 to a local 99-cent theater.
Merry
Christmas Scrooge. The movie. It's one laugh you'll never forget.
Well, I have known you since you were a small boy.
We're back. Yes, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. And with us today, we have Tony Harrington, a singer right from here from Hartford. Are you world-renowned or state-renowned, I guess I would say?
More.
New England renowned?
More like state.
State-renowned, okay.
Yeah.
Now, what's the band like?
I have a 7-piece group, Tony Harrington Touch.
Okay.
All 3 of the singers up front have auditioned for Star Search. I'm kind of proud of that. The group
now,
individually.
They auditioned with you recently, you mean?
No, they auditioned for Star Search last month, in addition to myself. So I feel really proud. It's almost like a proud father, you know. But in addition to that, the band itself, they're very, very talented. John Niven on bass, who's worked with Evelyn King, Phil Franco on
Champagne
drums.
King?
Yes, yes.
And, Locomotive, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that? Yeah.
Scott Dolly on keyboards and Tony Lee on guitar. They are great musicians, and I enjoy working
now,
with them.
what about yourself? Now, who did you look up to as far as when you were starting out and singing?
Lou Rawls.
Lou Rawls?
Lou Rawls, yeah.
Now, he sang Groovy People. I remember that song.
Yeah, and Trade Winds and all those
he sang it. He must have
old folks. See, I love the older songs, you know.
Can you sing a song?
Memory Lane.
Now, did you grow up with Lou Rawls? In the sense that you looked up?
I did. I didn't. Those were the only records I had at the house.
Give us an idea of Lou Rawls.
Okay. Well, people, you know, really get into his voice, speaking voice too. But okay, this song, Memory Lane. Lord, hand me down my walking cane. Lord, hand me down my walking cane. Hand me down my walking cane, 'cause I'm gonna take me a stroll down memory lane.
That's great. That's great. Thanks.
Thank you. Now, I enjoy him. He's great.
Now, what about? I heard backstage where you also your cousin taught you a song. One of the first songs you ever sang, and that's the Garbage Song, isn't it? Now, is this somebody backstage told me this? I think it was Jerry Clappis. Jerry, can you get that phone? Now, can you sing that song?
Yeah. My cousin taught me this, and he's from Springfield, but it's called Johnny Cleanup. My name is Johnny Cleanup, and I work for the city. I collect your trash and garbage. Ain't that up here rockin' rollin' all the time? Sometimes around those so
something like that, huh?
Yeah. The end of it is Balapascoom. Oh my God! No,
it's
we gotta
okay,
cut
Tony.
this.
We can edit this.
But check this out. It's like sometimes around those cellars, around those garbage cans, you find that flies around it, and that's your name. My name is Johnny Cleanup, and I work for the city. I collect your trash and garbage. Ain't that up here, rockin' and rollin' all the time? Now work's over. P.U. Who are you? Why don't you go home and take a bath? Na 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 na. Guinea wa, balapa skoomba, balapa skoomba.
Well, if you can sing that in Lou Rawls' voice, I'll come to see you, Tony. Yeah, that's great. Great.
That's crazy.
So,
yeah.
So you've been singing all your life, just about. I mean, ever since you can remember, school plays.
Yeah, I mean, I really started seriously pursuing the music after I graduated from the University of Hartford in '77. I used to do coffee houses and things like that, but I didn't go to Hart at the time. I just went for one semester prior to my freshman year, and because I was involved in sports, and Hart would have taken me away from that. So I'm kind of glad the way it turned out, you know.
So where can we see your band? Where can people see?
Everywhere. We're presently working with the Landerman Agency in East Hartford, and we perform at a variety of events. We just did a thing in Stanford for Special Olympics. We do wedding receptions. We performed at the Hartford Civic Center.
Now you do all the national anthems. The national anthem for all the Whalers games,
and
Celtics games.
American Arm Wrestling Federation, Ollie North when he came up, State Democratic Convention.
And what was that like?
It was weird.
Huh?
It was nice. I mean,
you sang the national anthem for Ollie North before Ollie North came out and spoke?
Yes.
Now, did you get anything near what Ollie North got for that engagement, or?
Not quite, but they really took care of me well. Yeah.
Free food, is that?
Free food and a modest honorarium.
So what was that like? I mean, you opened for Ollie North?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. I mean, I had a chance to talk to him, and you know, everyone was in the audience saying, gee, we're going to make a conservative out of you yet. You know, I was like, oh, I'm just here to sing the anthem, you know. That's, I'm not tied into the politics, but it was pretty enjoyable.
Is that the first time you actually sang before a speaker, or
No, I do it all the time.
You do?
I mean, I sing before, you know, softball games, soccer games. When they call me, I just respond.
Okay.
You know, for fundraisers and things like that. I really like to get involved in those kinds of
good luck. Good luck. Thanks for being on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right, where are we? We're right here. Okay, stay with us. We'll see one more skit, and we'll see you in a few minutes with Downtown. See you then.
Right now the time is mine to open up the windows of the world. To you is my desire.
My father worked this business, just like his father before him. You wouldn't think 3 generations could survive off a screw business, but we have. But times have changed. The same screw we sell to the government for $8, well, the Japs are making it for 6 cents. And I gotta be competitive. I gotta lay off 20 people. 20 people. 20 lives. But if I don't, I can kiss that dream car goodbye. I've tried everything to cut down on expenses, reduce the safety standards, hired illegal aliens. I even offered to cut wages. I'm at the end of my rope. 20 people, 20 lives. But if I don't, I will lose that car. And if I lose that car, I'll lose Susan. Some of these people are like family to me. Mrs. Gemmel raised me when Mom took sick.
Old me and Mentello served in the same war with my dad. And Mrs. Freeman, well, she was with the company in the beginning with Gramps. 20 people, 20 lives. But if I lose that car, along with Susan, I don't think I could live. My grandfather used to preach that a man has to work to have any self-worth. That without work, life just seems to lose its value. But he also taught me the lesson about the bottom line. 20 people, 20 lives. No car, no Susan, no life. I hope they can find work.
Broadway, home of Phantom of the Opera, Cats, and Chorus Line. Broadway, where dreams are shattered on opening night and a man can find the real meaning of love on 42nd Street. Now, Broadway gives us the one-man show that lit the city on fire. Sold out for 16 consecutive weeks and starring the man who told Madonna to speed this plow. Ladies and gentlemen, just what is that show? Broadway John Shakespearean Bagels.
Tomato and tomato creeps in its petty pace. Who's got the bagel with mayo? Mayo, anybody?
Hear what theatergoers are saying about Broadway John Shakespearean Bagels.
This is the highlight of my day. And to come down and see him in person, and I just can't describe the feelings that I get.
It's great. Did you see him in Hamlet on Tuesday?
Oh, he's better than a Broadway play. We come here for lunch every day. The guy's a genius. What can I say? He's the best.
He's the best one-man show on Broadway.
Chances in particular men who, finding some vicious mole of nature in them, who has the bagel with mustard?
He's the best one-man show on Broadway, better than Jackie Mason. What I want to know is why CPTV didn't pick up this show.
Come here, come see, come smell. The show that has all of New York talking. Broadway John Shakespearean Bagels.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether or not 'tis nobler in the mind class.
Life and it's kind of funny how the Lord made the bee and the bee made the honey and the honey bee looking for a home.
Okay, we're back. That just about wraps up our show. I'd like to thank our guest once again, Tony Harrington, for being on our show. Great singer, great guy. And I want to wish him the best of luck. Hopefully he'll be able to get me Whalers tickets. We'll see you in about 2 weeks when our guest is going to be the one and only Larry Bird. Stay with us and we'll see you then. This is Downtown. Good night.
When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown. When you've got worries, all the noise and the hurry,